I saw over on my favorite YouTube channel, Police Activity. They have
not
28.
and Sons.
They have 28 minutes of unedited body cam footage of the officer who goes up onto the building where the Trump sniper was, and he like stands over the body and chats for half an hour. He talks to a Secret Service guy with like suit and tie. You get this, you get a clear view of how he got up there, like where the building is in relation to everything, what kind of shot it was. To even mention that roof is slanted is just poppycock. It's like, if anything, the slant makes it more comfortable. Because if you can imagine lying flat and trying to shoot something over there, it's actually a little bit nice. It's like a reclining chair. It's like a beach chair for this guy to shoot.
He's a little elevated.
So we probably all heard that the reason people weren't on it was because of the slant. I don't know who said that. Was it the chick who got fired who was at the top?
Yeah,
I think it was the head of the
Secret Service chick. Yeah.
That was the initial reason for not. And if anybody listening to this wants to see some wild shit that, like, it doesn't matter what side you are politically, go listen to that lady being interviewed by Congress and how evasive and ignorant she plays, and how many times she perjures herself in the course of like a few hours. It is wild. Dude. It is wild. And to see, like, I hate to see when Marjorie Taylor Greene gets up there, because she starts talking about conspiracy. She's like, is there a conspiracy to kill Donald Trump that you're the head of? And it's like, shut up, firecracker. Like, it's one of these laureates we have up here, because they do this for a living. But she got absolutely decimated up there. And
on both sides.
And it looked bad. They were like, what is your problem, more or less? Like, what are you thinking right now? Do you think these cameras aren't turned on? Do you think that I'm not an important, powerful person? You are under some mistaken ideas, man. This is ridiculous.
She probably felt untouchable. She's like, I haven't even lost my job yet. And I just
Taylor, my opinion's on the other side, which doesn't mean I'm right, but I'm on the. She probably thinks I'm already fired. She's like, can't I just quit yesterday? Why do I have to go through that? Like, I get it. I'm gone. You know, like, so fuck this whole thing.
I get them trying to get more information out of her, because it's like, you know,
I understand their motivation.
Yeah.
I can also see why she was like, I can't recall. I don't know. Kyle said she perjured herself, and he's probably right. I only saw some highlights, but the highlights I saw were all like, I don't know. I'd have to look into that. We'll hold people accountable, but unspecifically, shit like that.
It's like if you're obstinate about it, it just makes it look like there is more behind the scenes. Regarding
it was a lot of little things. Like, did you phone the agents who tackled President Trump to the ground and stood between him and bullets the night of? No, they were still working. How about the next day? Yes, I believe the next day. Are you sure? Because it's 72 hours. You are under oath. You sure you called them the next day? It could have been 72 hours. It was 72 hours later that you called them. And it's like, why aren't you on this, lady? This seems like something you'd be good at. It's not, I don't know how directly responsible she is to all the shit happening. You would think if she didn't she would be the one to approve more agents, or the distribution of agents, and maybe even policy, so you could blame her there. But whoever was running the show on the day is where's that guy? We need to find him. I don't care what color or race or sex he is. She is probably a white guy. I'm picturing a mean white guy. Well, the same one in those
not mean enough, clearly.
You ever see those home security commercials in the middle of the day, and it's always a white burglar?
Yeah. I live in fear of a Polish guy barreling through my window.
God, is that a white?
Where is your electric television? Please,
be a white rhino. Or
did he get Italian?
No, he's Swedish or something.
That's what. Yeah.
Or Italian.
Mama, like you have little Mario in there.
Yes. Whoever's running the show on the day is the person who's also responsible for, like, you know, like maybe that lady put the team out there and she set the rules, but this other person was coaching on the day of. Whoever that was, they need to be held responsible too. Like, it seems like such incompetence that it really is easy to look at it and see conspiracy when it's someone as controversial as Trump.
Yeah, it's a Z.
So I've heard, maybe we said it, that there were people inside that building, but not on top of it. Is that part true?
Dude, it's so much worse than that. I don't think I'm wrong about this, but I skimmed through the 28-minute video. So the guy's standing over the dead body. on the roof, and he's talking to another agent, and that agent points over to the building right next to them. They're connected by a little walkway that's maybe 8 feet, and there's windows in it that look out toward the grounds that where all this shit happened. And they're like, that guy in there, he's the one who saw him earlier and sent us the pictures of him from like an hour and a half ago. He was the suspicious guy that we lost. And it's like, what the fuck? If that guy would just look out the window, he could shoot this guy with his pistol. Like, he's like a level below them or half a level below them and laying out on this roof, and they're just right there in that window, like a sniper team is. And I don't mean the one on the peaked roof behind Trump. I mean like right next to him, like 20 yards tops.
It's it's almost hard to think it's just sheerly incompetence, because like it would take a level of incompetence that's so staggering to see someone on the roof for a half hour plus.
No. That's not true. So
there were people in the crowd pointing it out way earlier, and
but not a half an hour. That'd be crazy town. One of the crowd would have beaten him up in half an hour. So the timeline is a little sketchy, but it's something like up to 2 hours before, when the crowd wasn't even gathered, the kid was flying a drone over the place doing recon. They found the drone. They've got video from the drone. They know he was doing it. Then like an hour and a half before Trump takes the stage, he's photographed and videotaped walking around kind of casing the joint, looking for where he's going to go, I'm sure. And I think that's when the Secret Services like overheard in that police activity video kind of mentioning, this is the kid we took a photo of earlier. I've also seen him in like a person from the crowd just, in the background. It's like, holy shit, that's him with the gray shirt walking over there. And so that's like an hour and a half before. But once he crawls on the roof, everything happens very quickly. Like 3 minutes from the time he gets up there to the time Trump gets shot or something like that.
Yeah, but they'd been keeping an eye on him for hours at that point.
They had lost him for over an hour and a half since the last time they had like seen him. He'd probably gone back to his car to get his gun or get ready or get all of his shit together, just speculating there. But there is that video where there's about 90 seconds of this person with his iPhone sees the sniper and is worried about the sniper. He's right there. He's right there. Gun. And it's like 90 seconds of this. It reminds me of that goddamn Uber driver whose passenger's getting pinated in the back with knives and he won't step on it. It's like, come on, we got to do something now. But there's no way to get anybody's attention. Certainly not the snipers up on roofs or whatever. And the guy starts shooting. He shoots like 7 or 8 times. Something like that.
So I originally thought that the protection team was too small. But if there's a lot of people like inside the building fucking about, people not paying attention to the person of interest, etc., I almost wonder if they weren't too small, if they were just too complacent. If they sat there and didn't work very hard that day, assuming that a guy like Trump doesn't have people who dislike him, then that's a bad assumption.
And again,
that's oh, sorry.
No, please go.
That's kind of what I was gonna say. Is like I don't know where I fall. Like, there's things where I'm like, that's a few too many coincidences. But then there's also like, you're a Secret Service guy, you did your time and whatever you had to do to get to get up to this point. You walk around for like 5 years and nobody ever takes a swipe at the president. Nobody even gets close to it. You're getting to the point where you're seeing people who look suspicious and you're like, I better keep an eye on him just to see that
Trump
guy.
Rally, they're all suspicious looking.
Exactly. Exactly. They're all traitors from what I've been told. But like 2024 election, fucking we got another one of these things we got to go to. Pennsylvania this time. Fucking whatever. All right, bro, whatever. Fucking dude, I'd rather be at my daughter's birthday party right now. Whatever, who cares? Yeah. And then it just kind of like snowballs into, oh no, that roof's gonna be fine. Who's gonna fucking take a shot at him anyway?
I think you might be onto something. There's a term for it. I forget it, but it happens to TSA agents where, the people who check on TSA and put a knife in the luggage or whatever, a gun in the luggage is a better example, and it gets past them. Why did it get past them? Because for the last 37,000 pieces of luggage, there was no gun in there. And they just learned that if you just wave it through, nothing happens. There's no one's putting guns in the luggage until someone tries to slip one by, and they succeed most of the time. And that's what's up. Too many. I think for dogs, when they train the dogs, they give them something to actually find every once in a while, because if you don't,
they forget how to do it.
They forget that ever saying yes is a thing.
Yeah, I mean, that does make sense. And I would also, like, if it's a big group of people, I could see them psychologically thinking the same with the TSA, where it's like, it's not that big a deal if I'm not hard scoping these bags or these people too much, because there's 100 people here. Someone will catch it. Am I the only one who thinks that guy's suspicious? Oh, well, then maybe I'm.
It's not just that roof.
Maybe I'm the weirdo.
Yeah.
Like there's other roofs. Like there were several problems with the security on that place. If you saw the big map, there's a water tower over there that's more like a 300 or 400 yard shot. That's from it way elevated. It's nobody was up there either. Nobody had that covered. The whole thing is just, it's complacency.
Dude, if the guy missed from that roof, he would have been a mile high from that fucking water tower.
It's complacency.
Although I guess he didn't actually miss. It's because Trump turned his head. So,
every time someone's attempted to, as far as I know, like, God, haven't they almost succeeded more or less? If you think about it, going back, like the attempts are,
we don't know all the fails,
How many successes?
No, I'm not talking.
Lincoln and what?
How do we not know all the fails? Are we talking about the fail where they got the guy on the way there or something?
Roosevelt,
and they didn't brag about it.
Reagan.
There's been several.
Reagan.
He's a fail though.
There's been more than a few that have just been dumb luck like that.
Yeah, but
Roosevelt
I wouldn't call
one.
that like the Reagan things isn't really even I mean, he got him. He got him. The problem was he was using a small caliber gun and he didn't know what he was doing. Right? He was just a crazed person, but he was able to get through any and all security there was. Every time someone's tried, they've done it.
As far as
different ways to define success.
Again, you said that, but like, what's the scenario where we don't know? When did the Secret Service jump in front of a bullet and keep it secret?
Honestly, I think you're right in that is the Secret Service as ineffective as the TSA? Seemingly, if what you're saying is true, and just intuitively it seems true the way you're
lately they are.
Yeah, lately that was the biggest Z team of all time. Like that looked like a TSA group.
As far as I know, the Secret Service handles like counterfeit money and harassing music artists who say the wrong thing. I'm pretty sure that's like 99.9%.
Like, is counterfeit money that big of a deal?
Massive.
Are they putting all of their eggs in that basket? Maybe.
Who handles counterfeit money?
The Secret Service.
Oh yeah, I know they do crypto too.
It was one of the first presidents that assigned them to that too. There was like, I forget why, but there was a reason. He was like, "Nah, I want you guys to be the ones."
I can foresee you guys sucking at preventing us from getting assassinated, so we need to give you something else to do, so you're not a total waste of time.
Abraham Lincoln installed the Secret Service, so maybe that means that he did it because the South was printing fake U.S. dollars to fuck with the U.S. economy and create inflation. That would have been genius if the South was doing that, by the way. Think about that one.
The South was on their own money at the time. I don't think they were.
But he's saying they were ruining the money supply for the North, like as an economic attack.
Oh, I didn't know they did that. I thought they were all about
I'm guessing. I'm
bucks.
just guessing based on the timeline of when he joined in, why you would need some sort of counterfeit money force installed during the 1860s.
I hate how lame the Secret Service is in my eyes now. I always thought they were so cool, and like they were like it. I thought it would be like, that Asian guy that's American and he's a fucking NASA astronaut,
NASA Navy doctor
surgeon. This guy is maxed out in every stat, and I figured that guy would be like, oh, that's the kind of Secret Service guy, a guy who looks at a situation like that, immediately analyzes who the threat is. Oh, it's the guy with the gun, and then. They analyze.
I like the idea of the person being protected bullying the Secret Service, like just surprising them with a bike ride, and they just start running, getting exhausted, having to swap out runners because they can't keep up with the presidential bicyclists.
There were too many overweight Secret Service that day. Did anyone notice? I know Woody noticed that.
Frumpy, like lesbian looking, fucking like beat cop type chicks.
Yeah.
Only the Shane Gillis sister one jumped out at me as bad. When the president was first sort of, I'll call it tackled, but don't hold me to that.
Yeah.
Most of those guys seem like Secret Service central casting to me.
They prefer the term enveloped. And they all seemed fine. Even the girl with the ponytail was all over him, putting her body on the line.
But small.
She's a little small. I think you want maybe a bigger body, but who fucking cares? she was over there doing another thing, and she sprinted over and jumped on him. That was awesome. Again, Shane Gillis's sister is like cowering in fear and then can't holster her gun. Dude, they have so much footage of her trying to holster her gun. It's like, why did you have it out that much? She got it out 3 different times in 2 different locations. It was crazy.
I heard that footage was altered to make her look bad, and I'm like, okay, let me see the unaltered footage. Let me see what's up. Like, now I don't know what to believe.
Yeah, I no, dude. I saw her in 2 different locations with her fucking gun out, and she can't. And big part of the
I'm not defending her. We're talking about an overweight woman. You know, I'm not an ally.
The fat was in the way. She had to reach over with her left hand, and I'm not even joking. So there was fat in the way of her holster. It's a problem that fat people have when they wear holsters. You got to push your fat rolls out of the way so that you can get the gun out or back in, especially. It's and if you haven't like practiced it, and look, I never practiced that. I always thought holsters and drawing was stupid as shit. Like I'm not. I thought that was stupid as shit. I'd miss it too if I tried to stick a gun in a holster. I don't wear.
You know what they should have to do? All these Secret Service people who failed that day, they should have to have failure tattooed on their face, boogie style, so that everyone knows you're the one who failed to stop.
And the women can't grow a beard,
and they can't grow the beard. Yeah,
yeah, that's true. I need a little cover-up makeup. If you want a good movie about the Secret Service that'll make you feel like they're badasses, it's Clint Eastwood in a movie called In the Line of Fire. He plays like an over-the-hill, too old
It'd be unbelievable
agent.
Now that I know the truth. Now that I know they're apparently futzing around, Mr. Magooing about, going, that guy with a gun on the roof must be a goober. Must be like Dwight Schrute looking at fucking Michael in the woods through a scope. Just doing it for a better view. Yeah, the safety's on.
Eating those fucking mushrooms. I have tinted my pants. Yeah, that's a good fucking episode.
It is funny.
Yeah, the whole thing. I maybe 50 years. I'll say this: if that person had been successful and killed Trump, this would have been one of those conspiracy theories, and it would have lived on, like just like JFK. It would be bigger than JFK as far as like the movies and the documentaries and the studies and the microscopic, like, oh, but you don't know about the water tower shooter, do you? You don't remember the glint in the woods. What about the popping noises heard on the eastern lawn? Yeah, there'd be all these little tidbits, and it would be studied over and poured over. Woody, I'm talking about if Trump had died, how crazy the investigation and the legacy of that event would be. Because we have I think it's Zapruder film. It's fucking probably a Polak or something. That was just a guy who happened to be there with a camera that was better than most people had back then. And it's pretty good. He's got the camera on Kennedy when he gets shot. If you've ever seen JFK, which is a tremendous fucking movie, you want to see JFK, it's great. Highly recommend it. You see his head get blown off, basically. But it's still that old 60s, bumpy, stabilized, I don't know, a small millimeter film, 8mm film or something. Trump was in HD on fucking CNN live. There were 15,000 people there or some shit watching live. Everybody was watching that guy's face right there in front of you. They're zoomed in on it in 4K. If he had died, it would have been, it would be bigger than JFK, the way they poured over the conspiracy theories. And who set it up? I think it was the Iranians. They made a plot just before. I think it was the mob. No, it was the Duke of Belgium. He never let it go when Trump bumped him out of that photograph. His wife saw that and she left him right after for the mailman.
I'm not going to be disrespected. They will once again know that Belgium is the real country and not just a silly little vassal state of the United States. We have tens of military members.